We will start this lesson with fixing one UI issue. When we remove activities from the activities list, activity creation form is shifted to the top, but it should always be fixed at the bottom, right on top of navigation. So how do we fix it? First of all, we're gonna open up component the activities. This is the component which renders our activities list. Here we're gonna find a wrapper element which wraps activities list, which is this div. We will make this div flexible container with main vertical axis. And to make this div occupy the whole available space within its parent, we're gonna assign class grow. So after doing all that, we don't actually see any noticeable changes. But since we made a wrapper container flexible container, we can also assign class grow to UL element, which will make this list stretch to the very bottom. And this way activity creation form will be always positioned at the bottom. So let's do just that. To this UL element, we will assign class grow. And right away in the browser we see that the activity creation form was moved to its previous position. And now we're ready to get to the main topic of this lesson. So what we will do next is whenever we don't have any activities, instead of showing this empty page, would be good to show some image with text saying that there are no activities currently. And for that I have already added image called no activities in a project. So let's just create a folder called img inside of assets folder and move our images inside of this folder. First of all, let's move our new image no activities, and then let's also move our logo, logo.png. And now that we have moved logo, we need to go to the logo component and fix path to this logo right here by adding our new folder img. And at that place where we render list of activity item components based on activities array, first of all we have to check if this activity array is not empty, then we're gonna show this list. Let's add view directive in here and check if activities array is not empty. Only then we're gonna render this element. Otherwise, right under this div, we're gonna add another div with velse directive, inside of which we're gonna place an image. This image will appear only when there are no activities in the list. And let's specify correct path to our image, no activities. And just to see if the image will appear, let's remove all activity items and make sure that our new image is shown. And there we go, our new image appears. Let's just decrease height of this image by assigning class h48. And then let's add some description right at the bottom of this image, saying that you do not have any activities currently. And after that, let's just position this image with description in the center and stretch this container with an image so that it occupies all available space. Alright, firstly, let's position image in the center by making this container flexible container with main vertical axis, and position all elements within this container in the center by using class items center, and distance between child elements will be 4 units, and padding from all sides will be 8 units. And finally, let's also assign class text center to align text in the center. And finally, we have almost got the result that we need. Let's just make the color of this text a little brighter by assigning class text gray 400. And just like we did with our list, when we made it occupy all available space by assigning class grow to shift activity creation form to the bottom, we're gonna do the same with the following div. Let's also add a class grow. And there we go. Now we have all elements exactly where we need them to be. And now if there will be no activities in a list, right away we're gonna see that placeholder image with a little description. But when there is at least one activity, our image disappears and activity list is shown instead. And now that we have implemented main functionality, we can focus on refactoring. For example, this markup, which is responsible for showing placeholder image with description, is a perfect example to create separate component. So let's cut this markup and create component with a name, the activities empty state. Let's create new file within components folder with the same name, the activities empty state. Here we're gonna add tag template and paste our markup. And since we need to conditionally show this component, instead of using the else directive on the root element of this component, we need to move it and place it directly on top of the activity empty state component, like so. And the only thing that actually left to do is to import this component within current component. Let's write an import in here. And finally, let's go over all implemented functionality once again in a browser. So whenever there is at least one activity exists, we're gonna see activity list. But once I remove the last activity, instead of showing an empty list, we're gonna see a placeholder image with description, saying that there are no activities yet. And of course in Vue DevTools we can see the component which is responsible for showing this image. It is called the activity's empty state. And right after I add new activity, this component disappears and activity list is shown again. And this way we have made a little improvement to user experience. So let's continue development in the next lesson.